Welcome back. So we are finally down to the last map of the evening, and what a long evening it has been. So KKona versus EPE Bate. KKona going to be starting on the T side on this occasion. EPE Bate will be up against it on the CT side. So let's have a look at what the Ts have to offer on the pistol round.
Indeedy. Last game of the night, 14 hours later. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Because you've done every game tonight as well. Unlike that partner of yours who gave up.
Yeah, he's a wuss, he is.
Poor Dan, he's recovering. He's getting better. Oh, that grenade was quite handy though. It's just popped over the top. And, well, no one gets a bullet to the brain from inVert as they invert as they make their way in towards the bomb site. But it looks like they're going to rotate. Shock horror. 3 versus 3, but I can tell you, Obey not in a very good position health-wise right now. Two very, very wounded animals down there. But they're dangerous when they're wounded, and they've knocked down 2 already, and it's now turned into a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, the arch nemesis of KKona is out and about, and that is DSR, causing multiple problems for the T side. He's finally going to get taken down, but his death will not be in vain. Traded for Slemmy, and EPE Bate are off to a good start. That is great news for them. Producer Reese needs to turn his microphone off. Thank you very much.
Bye, Reese.
So, let's see if I mean KKona, they can buy AKs in the next round unless they choose to force buy in this one. So we'll see what they decide is more favourable for them. Indeed, it is going to be the eco.
Yes, indeed. And where did KKona come from now? I mean, they've lost the first map relatively easily, I have to say. I think they were a bit tame in places. And now they haven't started particularly well on the second map, so it didn't bode well. But still plenty of rounds to go, of course, so we'll write them off just yet. Oh, that's going to be a pigeon shoot, that one, dearie me. Brehze going to pick up a triple, not a 4th though. Ocean the only man to get 1, having come through Monster. Small consolation.
I would have been impressed if excuse me, if KKona had planted the bomb with such little investment in that round, as I don't think they had any nades, I'm not sure, but there we go. They're going to get the AKs out regardless, but they are going to be, they're not going to have many grenades afforded to them, so they're going to have a bunch of smokes and a bunch of flashbangs. So I mean, they can use the smokes in a few different ways. They can use the smokes to kind of put a wall on the A site, for example, or smoke off the bank area, smoke off the truck, smoke off the stairs area, or throw some towards B, or use them for fakes as well. You know, they can put them within the B site in various positions. You can wall off the B site as well. You can put one on the B site itself for a safe plant, or of course go for upper B to obscure vision of any would-be snipers.
Or you can just rush through Monster like a lunatic and take them on 1v1, which they're not going to do now thanks to that smoke. Just put the kibosh on that one, isn't it?
That's nice when Simple does that on the CT side.
Yes. We enjoy that one.
So we're going for some triple boosts, it seems. We are taking some inspiration perhaps from Na'Vi, but there is nothing to be found there as there's nobody over towards long.
Negative Ghost Rider. Instead, rooRoooo has been a cheeky moo. He's managed to creep himself in through Monster undetected from the evil eye of the counter-terrorists. Managed to make his way in. He'll give that information early, but his teammates, unfortunately for him, all of them are just outside the A-bomb site. They might be scared away by that, though. There was a smoke, a Molotov, a grenade. There was all sorts going off, and then I'd be surprised if there was a cup of tea in there. Instead, wow, 3 go down very quickly indeed. There's a 4th, and KKona just fall apart on entry.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem to not really have an approach. I'm going to just double check and see who picks what, because
just ran out of time in the end and had to make a move, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, if that's going to be every round, then we're in for a long map.
Or a short one, as the case may be.
So let's see. KKona picked Overpass, so one would hope to see more from them on their T side of the map that they chose.
Yeah, Unless they've underestimated Obey, who maybe
true.
absolute wizards on the map.
Yeah, that's very good points.
Never quite know, do you? And the teams that don't play each other all that often, but all that we see play each other all that often.
So we have rooRoooo on the AK. Other than that, his team don't have anything going on. They're all eco. So XOB looking good at the moment. The MP7 from the previous round has now been upgraded, thanks to the 2 dropped AKs that have been gratefully accepted by the CT side.
Gifts.
Ocean's got himself pretty close up to the A bomb site now. Perhaps looking for a cheap frag from a jumping CT, but I think the spot went both ways and you sort of Molotov forcing him off the angle there. So rooRoooo just biding his time outside the B bomb site. Other than that, not much is going on. The CT's just waiting really, having a good the odd peek here and there. But so KKona, the clock is ticking on them all the time.
Decent amount of damage done to Ocean. Less than 20 out. They're going to pick up the opening 2 kills. Ocean's not one of them, so naturally make that a third. And there is the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. Hey, look, guys, I can count to 5. It's 4-0.
Very nice. Let's see if it makes it 5-0 and it can count to 5 again.
Whee!
So they've gone from 4 pistols and 1 AK to 4 AKs and 1 pistol on the T side. But they've got considerably more nades, so if they do have executes in mind, then now would be the time to do it. Even rooRoooo's got Molotov, smoke grenade, and a flashbang. And yeah, it seems they should be well versed, KKona. I think we're seeing a nice flashbang to get their teammates into the short B area. And again, they've got the triple boost, so they've got the gimmicks coming in, but they don't. What they don't have is map control at the moment because they've got a lurker outside the upper connector area. And despite getting the frag, I think we're going to see a strong rotation from the CTs. So taking the actual sites here on B may be a bit of a problem. So throwing a Molotov to the left of that pillar on the site will send it directly into the barrels area.
Currently isn't, well, it is now occupied. There it is. Sort of came late though. Sort of seen late a little bit, so able to escape pretty easily from there. It will force him away. Smoke's gone down. The delay though is because the fire was unleashed in Monster. So now, how can KKona get onto this bomb site? Now pushing around the pillar. 1 to the left, 2 to the right now, making their way into the bomb site. They do trade a couple of frags backwards and forwards. It's now down to a 1 versus 2 though. And, ooh! I thought that was a CT. My bad. Oh my goodness, what is he doing in there with the bomb? He's going to lose the round is what he's doing.
Easy
and I only have one phrase for that. It's a well-known phrase I've used a few times. What an idiot.
Yeah, I think running with the knife out without knowing where the other player was a bit of a mistake because you don't know where he is basically. I mean, they made an assumption. Maybe it was a poor call actually. I can only imagine it was a poor call that came in from a teammate and said, "Oh yeah, he's a sewer or something." And it's like, okay, let's go.
Can only have been that, can it? I mean, there was a bit of chaos going on in the bomb site, I guess.
I don't know how else you have your knife out there basically. So I can only imagine it was a communication breakdown.
Damn.
As my boss used to say, my old boss.
Damn.
That is. So 5-0. Indeed, you can count to 5 should you wish to. The opportunity is there. There are 4 AKs and a Galil onto the T side, and just a few grenades actually here for KKona. XOB obviously have deployed a considerable amount, but what is the play from KKona against their pick? They don't have any rounds on the board yet. How are they going to get themselves on the scoreboard? Because obviously you saw loads of frags on the B bomb site in the previous round, but that really could have gone either way.
Yeah,
kind of random.
I mean, you made a point. The strategies they've used haven't worked, even though they've looked pretty in places. Their executes haven't worked at all. And frankly, their fragging hasn't been up to par. So when you combine all 3 things, it's hard to find where they're going to get around from. Need a little bit of luck in that last round, and it could have gone their way. But yeah, I'm still raging inside. Why don't you just plant where you're safe to plant?
I like how DSR has the AK on the CT side. Obviously he's been the big output man, so they're giving him the best rifle. But I think he needs the other men to step up now because DSR's gone down and they are losing players. A lot of trading of bullets between these 2 teams. But where is the second player for the CTs? I don't think the T's know.
This is better though. More firepower, that's for sure. Big tags though coming in. This could still go the other way, and it does for the 6th consecutive round. And KKona just can't catch a break.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to be headed to a 12-3 half here for EXO Bay if this continues. The force spike coming out instantly.
James.
Could do. Don't get those every day, but you never know.
Well, if they carry on getting this amount of luck, they'll have had no luck.
Well, nothing left in the bank here for KKona. So is this off the rail into the vent?
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
How sexy is that smoke?
Yeah, NIP do it walking. I think that's probably a jump by workaround actually over there. So, but it's nice to come up with it in the first place. Very, very nice indeed.
Lovely.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk a bit nerdy about one of those smokes in a minute, because we are down to yet another 2 versus 2, which happens to go the way of Obey more often than not. A bit more of a defensive plant on this occasion here from rooRoooo.
Not a toilet side this time either.
So there's a crossfire on the site, but his position might be a 1 frag position, although that may be all he needs in a 2 versus 1. And there is the 1 frag, and there is a trade, but Ocean instantly trades back to get KKona on the board.
They really needed that. Really needed it as well. It was starting getting silly, really.
Alright, so and that's actually puts EXO Bay in an interesting position where they're going to go for an eco. They've got 2 players with about 3,500. 1 player who probably had less than 2,000, but he's gone for 5-7 Kevlar.
Win 6 rounds in a row, still have to eco.
Yeah, the war of attrition is real. So loads of CTs have made it to the fountain, and I think inVert's going to be in for a nasty surprise. He's missed a shot as well, and he's not even going to get a single frag. In fact, 2 of them have gone down, and Els may be soon to follow. He's going to get a frag, and he's going to get eliminated. So again, we're down to a 2 versus 2 in a matter of seconds. Just the trades are absolutely real. Pistols are insanely powerful, it seems, in this game. Almost like laser guns. And KKona will take it over the line, but again, it's an expensive round, which means that if they lose this round, then perhaps they'll be on an eco.
Yep, seems even when we get ecos, it's expensive for both teams, not just the leading team. They might be 6-2 up, but certainly suffering money-wise, that's for sure. So, full buy, both sides. Oh, and a famous at least left on one side, but that's fine. Orp's in play on both as well. DSR has the Orp again. He's also getting a bit of fire for his trouble, and he's going to get burnt alive. Hello?
Well, that's a bit embarrassing. And you know, being the big fragger for his team, that is a huge problem for EXO Bay.
Yeah. Did he think he was in a magic troop or something, doing a escape from fire routine, or bizarre?
Well, whatever he was doing, it failed, unfortunately for him. So looks like the EXO Bay side are going to try to get a bit aggressive towards long, maybe trying to get an advantage back after that early failure, and the failure will continue as they are now down to 3 people. Bomb currently towards A long. It seems that both CTs are on A. The bomb has an option to rotate through toilets actually, because there is a T on the B bomb site, so that might be where all the Ts end up moving, save for one who can potentially try to run distraction and or flank. Ocean though moving towards the A site, heavily tagged, going to go down. inVert's heavily tagged as well. He's got the AWP towards long. It seems the bomb is going to rotate towards B. Oh, and rooRoooo's pushing up to allow his teammates to get there. They're taking their sweet time about going into the B bomb site actually. And there we go. rooRoooo is going to take his time and then take down no one. So EXO Bay should be headed towards an eco.
Knows it as well. Look at the way he get away with this, but it's about all he's going to get away with. Can he save DSR's AWP now is the big question. And I think we found out why he doesn't AWP. Uh-oh. This could be curtains.
Oh, this looks like fun. Oh, trying to get a bit fancy, but maybe a bit too quick on the trigger finger there. So, KKona, can they mount a bit of a comeback now on this particular map? 3-6, 6 of 9 rounds is not bad for XOBay, but obviously they're going to want to put a plug in this leaking bath or something. I was going to say hole, but you don't put plugs in holes, do you? You put plugs in baths. A plug in the sink. Plug in the sink would have been enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could have just left it there.
But then you want the water to go because it's usually mucky, right?
That's true, unless you've like rescued a fish.
Good point.
Or something.
Save your goldfish.
But then if you put a fish in a sink, it's probably going to die because it's not right. We've gone too far.
I think the only fish that should be in your sink should be the one that's the leftovers on your plate after you've eaten it.
I respect that.
Anyway, before this gets ridiculously outrageous about fish, back to the game, I guess. You can tell we're tired, can't you?
It seems XOBay were almost setting up for the kind of Astralis Zipex nonsense they do in the B water on the CT side. Well, we'll see if it pays off. KKona have Molotovs, but rooRoooo is going into B on his own. Although it's paying off for him because he, as it appears, is going to be the information man for the team. But of course, being on your own, that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, no Astralis nonsense just yet, thanks.
2-man spray down is real. So KKona have done a good job. You can see the last player, none other than DSR, has picked himself up an AK, but I think he wants to just get out there and save it because his chances of catching this round are very unlikely, especially without a defuse kit. So you can see he's running there because he knows they can hear him, and he's choosing to hide nearby, and perhaps he can flank them or even kill them as they try to hunt him, where he's just merely trying to exit. Because it's hard to tell, depending on where the bomb's planted, where is safe in these underground areas. So we'll have to see if he survives or not, or if he's going to try and jump into the water at late notice. So again, he could go for the kill there, but he's choosing not to because he wants to save this AK. And the AK is more important to him than killing one T and getting traded by another one, potentially.
Yeah, important save for him, which is completed. Gap has come down to 6-4, and at one point we were talking about this being a 12-3 or even a 15-0. No chance of either of those two things happening now because KKona have fallen aboard and have played substantially better on their home map of these two maps that they're playing in a best of two, which is good because they can still get a point out of this and they might well need it.
So we see the AWP onto inverts, the AK continues onto the DSR, the rest of the CT side will have M4s, rest of the T side will have AKs. Both reasonably stocked on nades. Invert's looking for an opening. I think everyone's looking for an opening, really. Just picks, waiting for a CT to make a mistake, to overextend, to venture out too far into the woods on his own. Very static at the moment are the T side, just slowly emerging up long. Again, one of the advantages that you can play with on the CT side is how long it can take the T side just to clear the respective areas, because there are quite a number of variations in how you can change your setup on Overpass. Again, have a look at Luminosity versus Na'Vi on the Luminosity CT side. See how Fallen and Furch used to play the CT side, supporting the AWP. I quite like it. It's very interesting, actually.
And shout out to Han as well. He's been putting up a few Overpass pieces recently. Some very interesting little strategies.
Well, speaking of strategies, this flank from Brehze. Ooh, looks like he might get flanked himself, but can he get the kills first?
Wow.
2-man spray down for him. The clock is ticking on these T players as well, and the bomb is a bit stuck in no man's land, gets taken down, and it needs to be collected, but there are 15 seconds on the clock here.
Time, dude. Whoa. What? There's a mini-map up there, lad. I would suggest using it very quickly. Time. Don't need to face. Don't need to face. Do not need to face. 7-4. Finally.
Well, Obey back to winning ways. Let's see what buy comes out from the T side. They have enough to go for the 4-buy here. Nothing too juicy saved by the ex-Obey players, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. No one has a FAMAS. I was wondering if he was just going to rock the 5-7 there, which, you know, is possible, but I'd be surprised if their economy was in that spot already, and it's not. So here we go. XOBay going to get a bit more aggressive with it. Could be a two-man breakdown, but again, there's just no flashbang from a teammate. Just going to walk in raw and do what he can. Now we have mistakes being made.
That's a birthday and Christmas present all rolled into one, that one. Hello, I'm here, have a free kill. Some mistakes starting to creep into both sides, it seems.
Well, it seems Obey have put some of the bodies over towards the B bomb site. I think 2 of the 3, which is where the T's seem to be headed. So we'll see if the players can get any more multi-frags in this situation. Monster is starting to be peeked through, but the trade's going to come in. So now it's a 2 versus 3. But can the CTs get onto the site in time, down to 2 versus 2? Although Brehze has taken a bit of damage, and they can make a reasonable guess as to where he might be. That Molotov will help things out, as will the AWP. Very nice shot by inVert. Bomb's going to get planted.
Yes, 1v2 here. It's going to be a tall order to get back into this bomb site. Well, did get a little bit of attack there. And a little bit more damage. No, not quite. Flash came in, but actually flashed his own teammate more than flashed him. Flashed the CT, but it won't matter. Ocean does finish off the job. Gap down to 2.
Yeah, that's going to be down to the eco as well for Obey, which means KKona can start to get really active here. I think if KKona get more than 6 rounds, then that's going to be a bit of a pain for Obey, who were looking good at the start, but perhaps KKona have somehow figured them out, although I do think the general variant has something to do with it. So an aggressive play here from the CT. We've got flashbangs coming in now, and again, 2 frags. They take a man advantage on a pistol round and pick up an AK. Seen this before.
Yeah, just replay many of the previous rounds, I guess, as the trades continued on. We're back to 2v2. Playground right now as well. rooRoooo is dodgy for it. Oh, he might still get some damage done, but wasn't able to pick up the frag. Now the information would have been sent over to inVert, who's scurrying towards the bomb site right now at full pace, and we'll get the bomb planted with plenty of time. Now faces a 1v2. Heaven will presumably be his destination here, but these 2 boys, they do have a smoke and a flash between them.
No diffuse kit though, which means a 10-second diffuse,
trying to avoid off Heaven, surely.
Trying to avoid an AWP. That's not going to be easy.
Off site. Bizarre. I have no idea why they would do that. Heavily tagged. Wow! Where did that come from? No one. And this is going to be close still, because there's no diffuse kit, as James has said, but he is going to pick this one up. Wasn't that close at all, really.
So,
me not hearing the beeps.
No one gets his team back into things here. Lots of juicy money on the CT side as well as the T side. So again, we're going to have a bit of a clash between these 2 teams here. If KKona take this, and I think 7-8 is on the cards. If they don't, then well, it's going to be a 10-5 probably, because neither team will have money should they lose this round. But then again, pistols becoming a bit of a meme themselves this evening. Or this morning, should I say now, since it is 6:30.
Yeah, we have actually travelled through time.
Yeah.
It is the next day. Good morning.
Good morning.
I think the sun comes up soon too.
Okay, so we've got 3 CTs over towards the B bomb site. I think we might have some boost attempts here from the Ts, and that is a nice timing need to punish them for doing so. Not going to do spectacular damage.
25 knocked off, all helps, I guess. Oof. Flash was a little rough and served the wrong master, really, because Obey lost a man in that one. Device very, very damaged, though. Ocean also chipped away. Ape will come in now. Can they pick up any more here? Because they've all poured in towards the bomb site. Waiting. Ape trying to pick his timing. He's picked his timing well. He's got 1 more. His teammates have picked up 1 here as well. 2 more to find. Quite sure where that was coming from. Well, rooRoooo was on short. He's picked up 1. The trade again coming back. But there are 3 men remaining. And XOBay may well have turned this into a 10-5 first half.
Yeah, they're looking pretty solid for that at the moment. The the bomb plant bonus will give KKona some much needed money, but they're going to be extremely limited on what they can do here, which might be in a fast play, which it seems nobody can handle at the moment.
Well, they've decided to go for the utility rather than the weaponry, and relying on the fact that they can get themselves in and around and perhaps steal a couple of weapons to even things up. So just a single UMP, rest of them Tech 9. As I said, plenty of utility, plenty of flashbangs, and they've deployed many already just to get out to the mid. What are they going to do here? Fast play onto A, maybe? rooRoooo absolutely flying along at a rate of knots towards the bomb site. And, well, Slemmy can put his cup here full. He's got himself to nearly a third, and there are just 2 remaining now. One of them has an AK, one is dispatched to the grave, and that'll be the last of that. None of that nonsense, says ECS Bate, and they have a 10-5 first half lead. I think with a 6-0 lead, they might be mildly disappointed that it wasn't even bigger, but nevertheless, 10-5 City side overpass, pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good indeed. So looks like we will be soon into the second half. So the question is, can Obey continue to charge against KKona and have another shutout map?
Got to be pinning a lot on the pistol, I would imagine, as we always do when we switch over. But more important right now for KKona that they pick up this more from a momentum base than anything else.
All right, so let's see what the T side are going to roll with. I think we saw some smoke grenades from the from some barrel positions earlier onto the B bomb site to go for some safer plants should they be able to get towards that smoke, but it seems that the KKona team are going to be going towards upper, where there is one player towards Birthday. Again, he will have the range advantage, that's Soul CT with the superior USPS for pistol rounds. Great recoil as well. But just continuing to move back and back and back and back, going to play it safe, not do anything crazy, it seems.
They're crazy. I want to do anything crazy. So, very important round for KKona. They've got a little bit of breathing space. They won't want to give this one away either, but still, plenty to play with. I've been doing so far. Push towards A is real. 2 in toilets, 1 to the left-hand side. Vice will have called this as well. He's going to get immediate support from his teammates here. But are Obey going to go into bomb site? They are going to go in. The trade is real with the first 2. Each one backwards and forwards. Now inVert's coming from behind here. I don't know if they're going to spot him coming towards the bomb site. Yes, they have. They spotted him early. And it's good, because inVert is now the last man alive, and they know where he is. Already moving on to the bomb site. There's no way he can get in here. The shots are raining down on him from all angles. And ECS Bate now have an 11-5 lead.
Okay, so, well, it's time for them to win the anti-force buy. Fingers crossed.
second
sake.
round winners. We've seen plenty of them tonight.
Indeed, yeah. So they're going to go for the 2 AKs, a double Mac-10, and a UMP. Now, you might want to send one of those Mac-10 players to short B and put someone connector to make sure he doesn't get flanked from some CTs, or just charge up towards the A site and almost take your teammate's head off. Either one works. 2 men down for the CT side. Ellis is going to be on the flank. Wow. And of course, it's going to be the last man with the bomb who's going to be standing there waiting for him, lose the bomb and lose an AK as well.
So messy. So messy. And not the Lionel version either. Dear me, what is going on here? Ocean trying to ping him from the top of stairs, and has done an absolute monstrous amount of damage. They're down to 52 between them now. Ocean and Ours.
Just holding formation now.
Dear me.
It's just it's a bit all over the place at the moment.
It is all over the place for sure. Brehze and Ape both very low in health. No one though fully stacked here. Ocean last man standing. He's got 22 himself. Waiting on site. Trying to be a bit of a ninja here. And he will pick up the first one on site, so they won't want to give anything else away. Now, no one with the last 4 health man. Can he get it? He can, but only with 16 points of his own health. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, they got there eventually. So, 7-round lead for ECS Bate, and you can see the money on KKona is on about $2,000, so this is an eco from them, whether they like it or not. So, DSR, is he going for Okay, I thought he was going to.
I think he's going to save one more, isn't he, with Mac 10 and then potentially go off.
I was wondering what he was doing with the Molotov he was holding, but they could have gone to in a number of ways. Could go to the train tracks to stop a smoke, but obviously it's an eco, that's not happening. Could have gone to short B, where this crosshair is placed, to stop the CTs from trying to push that. And that's a reasonable one, which I want to say Seized does for Na'Vi, but I can't quite remember who it is. But I was trying to replicate that, not easy. So, XOBay, are they going to wait too long and then have problems for themselves? They have all those nades, but no Molotovs left over, and they haven't pushed the site yet. So it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, good question as well. I mean, we've seen a little bit of waiting around tonight in these last 3 games where it doesn't pan out for the team that waits, that's patient, that plays passive. No one out onto bomb site, so he's not waiting, and the tap, 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 tap works very nicely, thank you very much. I'll take 2 frags out of that. Ruin Ocean now again find themselves as the last 2 alive. DSR's being ultra careful up high as he tumbles down towards the bomb site to join his teammates who are already on site and nicely set up.
So if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the bomb's planted on A and they're just going to hunt the players towards B, the last of which is going to the ocean, and he's dead as well. So Obey moved to their 13th round, pretty close now. We're going to see the buy coming in from KKona. If they don't win this, and they are screwed.
Yeah, on their map.
Oh, let's see what they can do. Again, the nades are a bit limited across the CT side on the whole. The T side has, you can see, they've got full nades and full AK-47s as well, so all looking good in the hood over there.
Indeed. Fire put out on the short entry. A little bit delay before they can head in there if they want to. They do look like they want to as well. 2 men down here in waters, plugging away through the gaps. The usual boost spots and holes in the wood. But KKona not having any of it, are they? Nice and steady, holding spaces, waiting.
Well, inVert getting a bit aggressive here, but again, doesn't have any flashbangs. Just going to walk around the corner and go for a kill with no support whatsoever. And he makes it work there, but that is an extremely risky play, and indeed he's going to get isolated and traded upon as he tries to reset his position and provide some more, some more greatness.
Some more grit and determination.
So we have Brehze running into the B bomb site on his own. So everybody just playing for picks basically. Just walking around on their own and then dying on their own.
They're just playing deathmatch right now. Bizarre. And we have seen good team play from both these teams, so it's not like they don't have it. A little bit of frustration creeping in towards the end of the match maybe. Now with a chance to pick up the kill, and he does. So 1v1, rooRoooo's got an advantage here though in both weaponry and in health, and will use it wisely.
So you go, the pressure continues on the KKona side. They only survived with 1 player, so you can see they're going to have some decisions to make with regards to their round buy, whereas XOBay are just turning up the heat now, just pressure, 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 pressure. 4 AKs coming the way of the CTs who are mixed between MP9s, M4s and FAMASs. So we'll see. It seems they're committed to B based on the number of people they have there. Might feel like they have the right tools to out-aim their opponents. So they're trying to avoid the spray through the tunnel. Indeed they will. Now they come out in the numbers, and Ape's going to take down 2 super fast. This is horrible for the CT, so you can see rooRoooo's only got $250 in the hole. Trying to stop the plant from coming in there. Almost gets a 2-man spray down. And but look at the players. Even with this MP9 it's suddenly a negative because all 3 T players are quite heavily tagged.
Yeah, 73 health between 3 of them remains. Against 200 for 2 remaining. One of them is dealt with very easily by a nade. How's Herrell's going to get into here? He's going to be cut down actually by DSR now. That's going to be awkward. It's 1 versus 1, but inVert has the advantage of health here and will make it pay. It's going to be a fairly close defuse, but he will get it. And that will reduce the gap to 13-7.
So close, but not close enough. So what is the Obey plan then? Again, one player survives for KKona, which means that they could try and force it up and break the CT economy, because obviously that should get broken straight away based on the buy. And we're getting quite a few grenades out and so on, but they're not going to go for the full eco once again. So perhaps feeling that they're confident about what they want to do. And that's the Molotov I was talking about there. I think sees throws from Navi, but as you can see, it's a little bit difficult to throw.
Yeah, tricky, very tricky.
So you've got the wall we mentioned earlier on the B bomb site, but are they going to commit to it? They've only got, well, there's only one person there now, so he wants to get a ninja plant, try and get some money for his team. Not to be though. KKona will have one player lost, which is Ellis, but other than that, they will charge forward to that 13th round of Overpass.
Yeah, kept closing a little bit here. I don't want to get too carried away on KKona's part, but they have closed to within 5 rounds now, and it's doable. It is their map, of course, so they'll know it's doable. Question now for XOB is, can they hold on? Continue taking the sort of round advantages they've been doing over the last 8 or 9 rounds, and DSR is going to start things off nicely with a good AWP. Plenty of those this evening from him as well. Definitely worth a look.
Great start for the T side. And again, they're just holding formation, maybe smelling the desperation of the CT side. Going to just let that sink in, or soak in, if you will, as much as possible. Punish them for any mistakes. They're just holding formation at the moment, but they're moving away from the B bomb site, it seems, or moving to more passive position. So they're going to have the boost spot with a FAMAS peeking. And again, it's all about the, well, it's not all about, but partly about just having unexpected positioning. So it makes it harder for the opponent to pre-fire you, but also gives you the quick jump on what you like, what they like, and so on.
Relatively quiet. I think that quiet's about to be burst though. Ellis managed to line up one, but gets it traded back once more. 4 versus 3 now. Can XOB hold on to their upper bomb site here? They're going to switch one man towards bank with rooRoooo. Flashes have come in already. Smoke's now down as well. More flashes into the bomb site. They're desperate to try and get in here. But it's being pushed back initially, and rooRoooo didn't quite get the kill. Plenty of damage done. Does get the kill now. Vice follows up with the second one. Ape, the only man to reply back. He's last man alive now. Well, actually, there's 2. Sorry, my bad. Didn't see no one coming on the far side with Ape. But it's not going to make any difference as they run out of time. I'm not entirely sure what that was all about.
Basically, every round goes down to 2 versus 2, and then one of the teams wins. That's how. It does seem to be that's standard. How I've been observing a lot of these matches, actually. Or what I've observed. So, XOB, I almost said Uber. XOB.
You're thinking of home already.
Move closer. But again, we've got a 4-buy onto KKona. This shot is actually very difficult to hit when you're double scoped in. It's hard to react in time. But good luck to inVert in making it. See XOB have most of their team upper, and then one playing very passively towards the B bomb site. He's not going to have much to do for a while, and someone's going to get caught drawing their gun out for some reason, and that's going to be a free kill for DSR. And he's picked up the M4 as well, so bonus weapon.
Indeed. 3 to win. 5 Bate. 7 for KKona. If they were able to come back and claim all 7, it would make the match a tie, meaning they get 1 point each in the round robin league. The other 3 matches, by the way, played tomorrow night in both Europe and America, will determine the top 2 in both divisions, who will go through to the semi-final playoffs, which I believe are being played on Friday.
Another sloppy grenade. Not a difficult one to land, but fortunately their aim is in the right place, so you can see that is what they're concentrating on, and if it's one or the other, then I'll go with the aim. So 4 versus 2 now, the AWP and the M4. Otherwise, kind of maybe slowly sailing away. from this whole qualifying process.
Indeed, yeah, worth saving. If they can. Oh, lovely, no scope from inVert. Got away with it just about. 16 house. roo's picked himself up one as well. So it's a bit more expensive. But they won't want to lose anything else. Having already seen 2 comrades fall. Well, I'm going to get a pause, I think.
Yeah, perhaps a tactical one, I assume. Someone's going to do 2P again,
yeah,
as before.
Can't believe it's for P. That means they've got a worse bladder than I have. And I have to change the bag twice a day.
Oh dear. That's gross. So we have the AWP and the... Oh, crikey, sorry about that. We have the AWP and the Scout coming out on the T side. Again, so many UMs being bought. They're really going for the force here. The Mag 7 as well. And one would assume there would be a gun for roo somewhere, who's just leaving the spawn of a USP otherwise.
Scout, AWP, Mag. So plenty of close up and personal.
Standard
plenty
buy.
of long range, nothing mid. Yeah, totally standard.
Well, we're about to find out if they can hold what could be one of the final tests in terms of rounds.
Why would you give your best fragger on the team nothing? Odd.
Good question. But maybe there's something on the floor that he's going to run onto.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I can see a gun on the floor actually.
Can you?
Yeah, he's just in front of him. There's a gun. It's between the Scouts and the AWP icons.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
Let's find out what it is. Info?
Hard to tell. Might be a FAMAS actually.
Yeah, definitely going for it though. There's no holding back here, is there? This is all or nothing. Yeah, it's going to be an M4. So, okay. So it is a massively mixed buy. They've popped down to the charity shop and bought what they could. However, they've really got to make it count now, because if they don't make it count from here, they're pretty much done.
Ooh, nice toilet smoke. That is the position you can hold an AWP towards the fountain. For one example.
Wow.
Oh, CT's coming in with some aggression now, but it's not going to last them too long, and that's the M4 lost, so they have the AWP to rely on, and Els punishing some poor fool who goes through to the connector without help or any nades, which is entirely possible.
DSR, who's been, for me at least, one of the more interesting players of the evening. Definitely up there for MVP of the evening overall, I think. I pressed a top shown Garrus earlier though, in a monumental format. DSR has been good.
So they're going for the execute over towards the B-bomb sites again. The smoke on the site, the smoke to the left of the site, presumably the Molotov to the right of the site towards the CT sewer, and it should be an easy plant when they're ready to go for it as well. So,
oh, that Molotov was lovely.
Yeah, nice bit of teamwork there. And it begins. The onus is now on the CT side to come in with what little weaponry they have and to try to take things over the line and keep the team in the game. But the numbers are dwindling, and it's just down to Vice now, XTSM Vice.
This would be an absolute miracle. He's got 3 that are relatively low, but there's no way in. Shut down a monster. And we have 6 match points for the ExoBay team. I don't think they're going to need 6 either, are they?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure they're going to need 2 the way the buy is looking for KKona, but they are pistols after all, so who knows what can happen with them. The Scout and 4 pistols, no armor on the Scout either.
Going to need an early Scout pick here to have any opportunity to get back into the game. And they already know they're going to go up head to head with at least an AWP. Let's see where Vice is right now. Well,
no flashbang, of course.
No, none. That was dealt with easily.
Buy full nades, don't throw a flash. Great.
Just never go full in A.
Yeah, just gonna pug around and shoot people in the head.
This is GG. Yeah, no doubt about this whatsoever. Vice is on site. We'll get the jumping headshot. Won't get the headshot rather, but we'll get a couple of bits of damage done. But they're just going to mass run into him here, and DSR plucks him out of the air with the AWP. rooRoooo last man standing. He's not going to be jumping around like a bunny for much longer because he's being dealt with a truck, and that is GG. And that is 16-9. Well done. 3 more points, or 3 points in the bag for them as well.
I think that's part of the problem for North American teams, which I mentioned at the major as well, is that you see, for example, they go for the anti-force buy push on long and take out the player who's close, but there's no flashbang because they can get away with that there. But if you play in Europe, you're not going to get away with that. You're going to get punished for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know, the proliferation of bad habits, I think, creates a cycle of poor play in general, which they pay for, you know, when they move up to the upper echelons.
The big leagues. Duncan's back with us. What did you make of the match overall?
Surprisingly solid series from the XOB guys. I mean, a bunch of those players on both teams have been in teams together before, so I was expecting it to be a lot closer, actually. I thought it would be like, I was actually expecting a nightmare series that would be like 16-13 every map, but no, they were pretty solid overall. And I mean, actually, as you mentioned on the air, DSR, I thought, kind of stood out. He looked like a pretty solid player, actually. He's a guy I haven't really heard of before. Yeah, pretty solid play by them overall. I mean, if I saw the name XOB, that sounds like someone written a little love note to someone. It's like hugs and kisses, Bay. But I wasn't in love with this game, but it was all right. So it's late, guys. It's very, very late. We'll work on whatever we've got at this point in time. So
the payment's the same, right, Duncan?
I know, exactly.
Okay, I mean, earlier on in this particular map, they were flying, weren't they? They were absolutely flying in both maps. In fact, they started really, really fast. Has that made a big difference in the way that they probably, you know, made it psychologically more difficult for their enemy?
It does seem like all the NA teams we saw today, if they ever got off to a really big lead, did play overly cautious when they had the big lead, and then kind of like didn't take big risks early on, and then as a result these comebacks were allowed to happen. Whereas you feel like a top level European team in that moment, the reason why they can get like a 16-4 win is they just kind of like they punish you immediately and they close the game out. So I think that's part of the reason why the games were all so close in that sense. I don't think it was like two equal, like just fantastic halves in that sense. So it does feel like that's a slight weakness maybe to the game there, like taking liberties in the sense that you know you can lose 5 or 6 rounds.
Okay, so that's the end of our broadcast this evening. We've had 3 matches in both the European and the American. What stood out for you?
Let me think.
Sean Garris, maybe?
What did we have? What was in the which European games did we have earlier? Gambit. Who were they playing?
Gambit. It's been
Gambit
SK. It was about 14 hours ago now. It's kind of drifted
out
of my memory.
Game, I think it was on train that Gambit and SK played where Mo had about like 25 kills or something. I think that was pretty good actually overall. I thought it was fairly solid because I mean you expect SK still has the name and they've had some upsets in the past, but actually Gambit looks more and more solid the more I see them. Actually, I'm excited to see where they could be in the next 3 or 4 months because maybe this is a top 10 team actually.
Okay, that's quite interesting as well because we've got a soundbite out of that. I think the American Mo is now going to cut that soundbite out forever and have it on his website. Okay. And that seems like a good place to end the evening. How you doing? Still awake? Still with us?
I'm hanging on.
You've done well, buddy.
Thank you very much.
14 hours in the chair, I might add.
Yeah,
what a
definitely
ledge.
time to lie down now. Please.
He said that like he's just going to die or something, didn't it? It's time, time to lie down.
Send for the ambulance immediately. James needs it. Indeed. Final words, last thoughts?
Goodbye.
All right.
Well, it's a goodbye from him. And it's a goodbye from Duncan and me as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you tomorrow night.